Let's go through these questions, these midseason questions I got for you, rapid fire. I want your takes on all this. First question I got for you.
Hmm.
Which team has not met expectations so far this season?
Wow. That's a good one. I would say the Brooklyn Nets.
Ooh, really? Why?
Yeah, I thought they would be better this season with their what felt like depth in the beginning of the season. And Mikal Bridges having such a great year last year. I feel like he could I felt like he was going to take even another leap with their, full slate. Honestly, I thought Ben Simmons would be a factor, and that has proved to be untrue. And I thought they would be a little bit better than this, and the struggles have been very apparent. I think they're definitely underachieving. Who do you have?
I like that pick. I'm between two teams, but I'm going to go with the Atlanta Hawks. I think the Atlanta Hawks have not met their expectations. I mean, they got Quinn Snyder, who they signed last year, right? That was supposed to help this team take another level. Then you have DeJounte Murray and Trae Young, who's still your backcourt. That hasn't been working out. I just feel like for a team that was in the Eastern Conference final not too long ago, every single year they have fallen short of those expectations every single year. And this year it's just, they're not even in the play-in tournament right now. If the season were to end today, they're 15-21. They made that big trade for DeJounte Murray because they thought that that was the next guy that you needed to add next to Trae, just somebody defensively after moving off a Herter. And it just has not worked out for them at all. I'm looking at the Atlanta Hawks as a team that has been underwhelming this season. And that's why you hear them in all these trade rumors because they're trying to figure it out. Landry Fields trying to figure out how to fix this team. It's just been a disappointment every season for the Atlanta Hawks.
Former Nick Landry Fields, huh?
Former Nick Landry Fields. Hey, Landry, what are you doing over there, man? Not looking too good, man. Not looking too good.
Nasty work over there,
It
Landry.
is nasty work, all right? Don't get me wrong. I mean, that's the other thing. Like, they have Trae Young, who's supposed to be like this transcendent player, really good, but it's just been underwhelming watching that team play, man. Very underwhelming. Next question I got for you, Andrew. Which team has exceeded your expectations this season?
Well, they didn't exceed my expectations, but they exceeded everybody else's expectations because I talked about this team at Blue Wire Studios in Las Vegas with my guy Nick
Ooh.
Diaz of the Veterans Minimum. I talked about the Houston Rockets because I thought that Alperen Şengün, baby Jokic, could take another leap and they should start building around him. I love that they brought in veteran players like Dylan Brooks and Fred Van Vliet, and that has showed their presence in the locker room and on the court has been really apparent with Dylan Brooks coming off an amazing FIBA performance against Team USA. And he just rode that right into the regular season, making better decisions than ever before. I think all that talk on the internet about him going to China was absolutely ridiculous. And he showed that he's a really good basketball player and got even better this season. So they've been playing really well with those veterans added into the mix. And they got some guys that haven't even got opportunity yet. Cam Whitmore started playing a little bit more now, and he's been playing really well. And amen, because how good their team is, he's getting more opportunity, so he could start showing himself in the second half of the season. I love everything that the Houston Rockets and Coach Udoka has been doing.
I like that selection. I like that selection. I'm going with the Orlando Magic for mine, Andrew.
Mm.
I like the Orlando Magic as my team that has exceeded expectations because a team last year that was not even in the plan. They had a losing record last year. You could see that they were able to compete, but it was just it felt like they needed something more from that team, but they didn't even do anything outside of really drafting players. They've just really relied on their like internal development from Paolo Banchero. You have also Jalen Suggs, who's been playing much better this season, right? I like how Markel Fultz has had a nice little comeback story. Cole Anthony playing really well as well. Franz Wagner, like all those guys right there have been really solid this season and really taken a step up in their development. I mean, we know Paulo and Franz were going to be the two cornerstones for that team moving forward, but Jalen Suggs starting to hit the ball nice with his jumper and then offer that defensive, you know, being that defensive hound that he was coming out of college. That's really been a good turnaround for this Orlando Magic team. And look, they're not even a good 3-point shooting team, but they compete on a nightly basis for what their strengths are. And I like that. I like that about this team. And then the draft selection of Anthony Black, a guy who I know everyone likes to say that Lonzo Ball comparison because he could be that connector, but
Mhm.
defensively, I like the way he can also facilitate. He's just been a nice addition too. I like what the Magic have done this season as a team. They're competing night in and night out. They're a fun team to watch, man. They're a nice, fun team to watch. You get some shooting on that team. Oh my God, they're going to be so different.
You know what I love about that team is that they're going to fit a different type of archetype in the sense that when they start to really be successful and make the playoffs, all the debate shows are going to be talking about like who's Batman and who's Robin when it comes to Franz and Paulo. I think those two guys are going to, and this rarely happens in the NBA, are going to both be 1A guys on the same team. Like, I don't think you'll be able to distinguish who is the top guy and who isn't. And I think in the modern NBA with so much talent, that's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I like the work mostly is done with that team. He has that guy. He has all those guys locked in for the Magic.
Yes, defensively has been a focus, and it's been great. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. All right. Which team will surge in the second half of the season?
The New York Knicks will continue to surge
Wow. You're going with my New York Knicks.
in
Appreciate
the
it, man.
second half of the season. And I love everything I'm seeing with the OG fit. But another reason for it is that guy Ihart is getting more opportunity and
Mm.
playing really well on both sides of the floor. High impact on the defensive side, which you know Tibbs loves, but he's also that connective piece on the offensive side, playing that Draymond type role, connecting their two isocentric stars in a
Yeah.
great way. And I think that fit is just awesome with Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson. Would you consider Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson isocentric, Alex?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
I would. Now they're both like both of them play a lot of isolation basketball. That's and for the way Tibbs runs, I mean, you can just go back to even the Chicago Bulls days. Even though I mentioned on the last show, yeah, Tibbs ran a version of the triangle system. He relied on Derrick Rose to be one of those creators, right? Like he looked at him for his main source of offense. So Tibbs has always done this. I even think about the time when the Bulls took down the Brooklyn Nets and he had Nate Robinson playing point guard for that team. Uh it's there's a lot of isolation in a Tibbs offense. He likes to live in that early 2000 basketball mold, which it's why like is there a little bit of modernness to his offensive game? Sure, where he's accepting the 3-point shooting, but there's still a lot of ISO basketball on his teams.
I wonder like how he would like he you know, we I always feel like this team is missing like movement shooting. And I mean Fournier is a guy who could kind of do that, but he'll never get opportunity with Tibbs, right? Because of the defense. But even if he had a guy like Kevin Herter or Duncan Robinson, like how would he use them?
I have no idea, but that's the whole point of like what Grimes is supposed. I mean, that's we can go back to the Heat Knicks playoff series in Game 6, where you had he called a play for Grimes to be a movement shooter, like in the right corner three. I was like, that's not something Grimes has done ever during this regular season. Why are we calling that play as he's falling away? As strange stuff, and that's something that Grimes was working on this offseason.
You
But
know
you're
who would
going with
be
the New York Knicks.
you know who would be a really nice fit for them, even though
Oh,
he does he's a little bit older for a rookie. Jordan Hawkins.
hmm.
Movement shooting. Did you he was performing early on in the NBA season. Like his ability to get shots off at volume with shooting a solid percentage is really impressive. I think he's going to be in the NBA for a long time to come, making some impact as a movement shooter.
That's an interesting look. That'd be an interesting look. I'm gonna go with the Clippers, man. I think the Clippers are going to surge
They are
because
surging,
are
like the Knicks in a way.
they're 24 and 13. They're playing well. I just think they're going to go to another level right now.
Ooh.
I think it's going like I told you how it's tight between 4, 5, 6, and 7. I think they're going to solidify a top 4 spot, and then we're really just going to be looking at 5, 6 as the last 2 spots. I think they're the team that's really going to surge. Like they're on a they're 7-3 in their last 10 games. I know they won what was it? They went on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They went on a 9-game winning streak. Okay. They went what 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14. They went 14, 15, 16. They won 16. They won 16 games and only lost 3. They're 16-3. So yeah, they're technically surging right now, but I think it's only gonna get better for the Clippers as they go through.
So outside of Denver, who do you have as having the best chance to win the West?
Best chance to win the West? I said Timberwolves. I'm gonna stick with Timberwolves.
Okay. And
Yeah,
then you would go Clippers after that or OKC?
Clippers, then OKC.
I
Yeah,
want to see Clippers. I want to see Clippers and
that's gonna
OKC
be a good
play against this.
matchup.
I want to see OKC versus either the Lakers, the Warriors, or the Clippers because I want to see SGA take out some future Hall of Famers. And that's when his name becomes a household name by casual basketball fans. Like we all know about SGA, but just the people that tune in just to like the postseason and the finals, like I want them to learn about SGA.
Yeah, for sure. I want them to learn about SGA as well. But I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with the Clippers. As I said, I know they're winning a lot of games right now, but I think they're only scratching the surface uh of how good they really can be. Like
Yeah.
that's I know it's like saying this team's gonna be it's this team's already good. How could I think they're gonna be greater than what we're seeing right now.
Yeah. I mean, Kawhi's playing at a high level right now.
High level.
Yep.
Absolutely high level. All right. What team has cooled off the most?
I mean, the obvious answer is the Lakers. I mean, they raised the banner and now they're struggling. So they've cooled off right now, but as I said, like I'm not as concerned about them as the Warriors. The Warriors never cooled off because it's been bad all year.
Right.
So, I would definitely say the Lakers, raising that first in season tournament banner. I was just joking about it a little bit right now, but look, man, like that was impressive. I thought that was impressive how they just like flipped the switch and won that, and now they're struggling again. There seems to be a disconnect between Darvin Ham and the players, and we'll see how they move forward with that, and if they make any moves within the trade zeitgeist.
I agree with you. I think it's the Lakers that's cooled off the most. They started off the season really well. Like I said, they're losing a lot of games. You have all the controversy between Ham, talk about needing DeJounte Murray, Zach LaVine. They need to make a trade. You hear D'Lo, Rui Hachimura in trade rumors. I think the team has cooled off.
Yep.
That team has cooled off from that in season tournament, and who knows? Maybe they go on another magical run like they did last year. But there's a lot of soul searching that's needed in that Lakers locker room right now. All right, we kind of have an idea who all the contenders are. We could talk about Celtics, Bucks, Sixers, Wolves, Thunder, Nuggets, Clippers, and all those teams. We kind of have an idea for both East and West where they are. So who's the pretender, Andrew? Who is the pretender? And then we can get out of here.
Phoenix Suns.
Phoenix Suns are your pretender.
Hell yeah, the Phoenix Suns are pretenders. I mean, didn't Vegas have them like number one in the
I think they
preseason?
did. Yeah, they did have the number one.
Come on, man. Those guys never had a chance to win a championship. You could clip this because you won't be able to bring it back later to aggregate me or whatever they do on the internet these days. That team is not a contender. You don't just throw guys together who have the same style of play and think you could win a championship in the first year, you know? And then you got the health concerns on top of that. But even if they stay healthy, that team is not winning a championship. In full health, do they have any chance at all to beat the Denver Nuggets?
No, they don't.
Yeah, no, no way.
They
I want to see them. I would love to see them versus OKC in full health. I hope they stay healthy the rest of the season and they play.
Ooh, get the Kevin Durant. Okay. Oh my God. Get the bad blood boiling.
Get
Okay.
SGA to take them out. That's what I want to see.
Ooh.
That'd be fun. You got to admit that'd be fun.
Andrew wants to see the smoke. Man,
Pretenders. Who do you have as pretenders, Alex?
Suns are a good choice, man. Suns are a really good choice.
Well, because they are the pretenders, but go ahead.
They are. I'm going to go with, man,
Oh, he can't
I'm
go
going
with
with
the
the
Buck.
76ers,
I
man.
was about to say he can't go with the Bucks anymore after last night.
Nah, I'm not going to go with the Bucks. I think the 76ers are pretenders in all honesty. I like Maxey. I like Embiid. Um, they need another piece, but it's Embiid, man. It's Embiid that needs to get over the hump. I mean, he's injured right now. I don't know. I think they're a really good team. I like them as a duo. I think they're so dynamic. I think Embiid's playing at a whole other level. But there's just something about that roster where I look at it, I'm like, there's something more that it needs. Is it Siakam? Is it a Jeremy Grant? I feel like that's one of the two moves that is needed for that team to really take it to another level. But when I look at what they could be, like I could think of them being a team that could beat the Bucks. I don't really see them, even though they did beat the Celtics earlier this year. I don't see them being the Celtics, a fully healthy Celtics team. I think they just have Joel Embiid's number. I feel like you need somebody else they can go to, and I think it's still too early in Maxi's like stardom, like being a like one of the two dogs to lead a team. I still think it's too early in his career to do that. I think if it was like next season, I could be a little bit more bought in on the Sixers being that type of team, but I think they're a little bit more pretenders to me right now.
Hypothetically, what would you want to see more? Nick Nurse coach the Sixers team with James Harden, or Wemby play at OKC
Repeat
instead
that
of
one more
Chet?
time. I'm trying to repeat that one more time.
It's so random. I don't know how
Yeah.
I get this off my head. Would you rather see Nick Nurse coach a James Harden team of the Sixers last year, or Wemby play for OKC instead of Chet?
Wow. These are good. These are good questions. Uh, I don't think Nick Nurse would have gotten a lot out of James Harden. So I guess I'm gonna.
I think Nick Nurse has been fantastic this season.
I think he's fantastic. I think you need players that will buy into Nick Nurse and who are not. I think James Harden is a little bit more selfish than he is team bought in at times. Like Tyler's doing a great job having him focused for right now, but we've seen this way too many times. Go to a new team, James Harden's focused and all bought in, and next thing you know, it just flips the script. Say, no, 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 I don't like the situation anymore. I'm gonna lean more towards I like to have seen Wemby and OKC
I wonder how that
on a
team would have
winning
looked,
team.
right? I wonder how
Huh?
that team would have looked with Wemby. Like, I love Chet. Obviously, the Chet
Yeah,
thing
for
has worked
sure.
out fantastic, and I thought he should have been the number one pick in that draft, even though Paulo is playing great as well right now. But I've always been really high on Chet. But it would have been interesting to see Wemby in a winning construct and see like if their record would be any different. It'd be really
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go with that. Last one, and then we got. I know you gotta get out of here. Who would you rather have? Dennis Schroeder, D'Angelo Russell
Which team?
in the vacuum.
Man, that's tough. Internationally, Dennis Schroeder. In the NBA, D'Angelo Russell.
Ooh, okay.
FIBA Schroeder's he is tough, man.
Yeah. I think I'm going with Schroeder all day over D'Angelo Russell. No, it doesn't matter the play
You,
style.
you know what I like about D'Angelo Russell? You need guys that could just get a shot up, a clean look whenever they want. And that's what's,
He could do that.
and that's what the Lakers lacking a little bit right now. He's been injured. I think like he's undervalued in that way. Like everything's helter skelter. We're not really running any offense. Like just get a clean look up. He could do that. And there's lots of players that can't do that at the level of D'Angelo Russell in the NBA.
I like Schroeder just because I think he's been like I like his playmaking. I like how he can get guys like
They're different. He's more of a
they're
point
very
guard.
different.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
very different. But I feel like they're at that same like level where it's like, all right, do I want Schroeder on this team or do I want D'Lo on? Like, what do I need? I feel like they're at that same level of like quality.
Where does Spencer fit in with those two? Spencer Dinwiddie.
I'd take. Oh God.
It's a good one.
Oh
No,
my
it's a good.
goodness
It's a
gracious!
good.
Give me Dennis Schroeder all over both of those guys. I think I'm going
Okay.
Schroeder, D'Lo, and then Spencer Dinwiddie. That is my order right there.
Even Prime Spence when he was playing good with the Nets, like he's tough. I thought he was pretty tough.
He was pretty tough, but it was like
Yeah.
I'm going with Schroeder, man. That's what I'm
Uh,
going with.
all right.